Nikhil, and welcome to our second coding video on Sandbox. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do forms on HTML, and I will also show you guys what CSS is, and we'll get into the intro of CSS and how it works and what it does. So without further ado, let's get started. So the app that I'm going to use to demonstrate forms is right here. So I made this recently. It's just a sports team login page. It's very simple. So I'm going to show you guys how these forms work and how do we use them. First, I'll show you what it's supposed to do. So first, there is the title. And you can notice there's a little box around the form. That's really easy to do. I'll show you guys. Next, it's name, then that little thing, and then there's a text box, then phone number, and then there's another little text box. However, because it's a number, there are arrows to change the number, so that's pretty cool. And so we'll just put and we can say my phone number, yeah, whatever, and male, and I play soccer and basketball. We'll just say that. And then because we didn't add any Java, which is the functioning for the app, if I just click submit, it'll just delete everything. Then we can add more to that in the JavaScript portion of building an app. So first, we need to start off the form tag. So to do the form tag is just the tag of form. So just the triangle bracket form and then the triangle bracket. So to show you guys, it's just that. So that's the form tag. You can see it here, but oh my god, what did I just do? And I added style to it. I added the font cursive. I know it's not actually cursive, but for some reason cursive is this font, and I actually like that font, so I just kept it. Then color blue. As you can see, the color is obviously blue, and the font size 25 pixels, and the font size is 24 pixels. So next, we need to just put this. So this is name. So I put that in B, and B, that means it's bold. So that means the text name will just show up. Next, for that, we need to add a text input. And if you guys watched one of my previous videos where I used to code on code.org, you may remember that there was a thing called text inputs, where you can put them on the screen, and then the user, they can type in whatever they want. So that's what we did. So we put input type text. So text is pretty much text input for a form. Next, BR, which is break, and together with this, it becomes this line. Next, BR, break to keep spaces. Then just phone number for this. And then BR, input type number. So the difference between text and number is the fact that there's arrows. You don't really need them because to put a phone number, it's kind of hard to do that with just arrows. Very time consuming. So next we have gender. So something about gender I learned is that whenever you do something like one of these, they're called radio buttons. I already knew that, but if you're able to do this, that means you're toggling them, meaning that you can change between both, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right. So first, gender, I put that in bold, the B and B, then BR for the break to leave a space. So first we need to do the male. So if we say male, then we need to do the input type of male to radio. So radio is just radio buttons. Then we need to give a different identification than female. So I gave it the ID M, the name is gender, and then the value is male. Then BR again, and then we can do female, and we pretty much do the same thing. Input type radio, give the identification as F, the name gender, and the value as female. Next, we do another BR, and it's what sports do you play? And this is different from this because it's a checkbox. Checkboxes are different because you can toggle both of them. Unlike in radio buttons where you can only do one, you can do both in here. Just do that, we can just do what sports do you play, BR, then do soccer for this. Then we can do input type, checkbox, ID S, and name sports, and the value soccer. Just like this one. but in this case, it's checkboxes and they're different. Next, basketball input type checkbox, and then IDB, name sports, and value basketball. And then BR again, set the submit button. All we need to do is input type equals submit, and the value is submit. And then just close center because I put center up here to make everything look better. And then I added some images, and that's pretty much it. And I do want to show you guys another thing. I recently learned how to do gradients. As you can notice that there's a gradient in the background. So to do a gradient, we need to first do style, obviously, then go to background, then do radial gradient, or we can do linear gradient, like that. Then gradient, then we can change these colors. So let's say pink, purple, I don't know, light green. So we can see it change. Let's say I put linear here. How about I change this to cyan? So it's more calm tone. And if we do linear, we can do this thing called to right. So what that would do is, as you can notice, the way of the gradient changed. So let's say if I do to left, it changes again. And if I just take it off, it's to the middle. Let me just, yeah. I think I should probably change the color of my title. Let's just do blue. Or green. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it with forms. And I'm gonna do a quick. I'm just gonna show you guys what CSS is, and then we'll wrap the video up there. And yeah, let's get to that. So now I'm going to use this application to show you guys what CSS is. So this application is the story of Demon Slayer. It's an anime. So basically what CSS is cascading style sheet. So what CSS does is it styles the HTML that you've already coded. So you can use it to beautify your apps and give it more life. Because if it's just black and white, it's not the most attractive, and it will not lure as much people to your website. So to do CSS, you need to, so there's HTML. So let me just do this. So well, if you start coding in the sandbox coding workbench, there's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So you need to click these arrows to do that code. So you need to go to the CSS code, like the little code to implement the CSS code. So first we need to so let's look at the ID. So we need to give IDs to each thing, and then we need to give it a code. It's pretty much very similar to inline CSS and external CSS, but the only difference is that there's more options, and it's easier to do it because let me show you guys this. Because in inline CSS or external CSS, which is here, you don't have the option to make your own colors. You have to just choose from the huge template that they have. So there's a big chance you don't have the color that you really want. So in here in CSS, you can actually choose the color you want by moving this. So let's say I move it to like, I want like a reddish tone, like that. And then I click run. See that this is in a reddish tone. So, sorry about that. You can see that I gave each thing ID. So let's say I want to change the font family of H1, and H1 is up here. That's the size of the title. And text align, which is like move it to center or wherever I want it. So to change that, I need to use the H1 tag, which is the ID basically of what the title is. And then to do the next is para1. So So to give a paragraph an ID, all you need to do is go into the paragraph tag and then into ID equals to quotation marks and then the whatever ID you want to give it. I give it para1. So I wanted to change the font family to cursive and text align to center. All right, so next for the image, if you do something to an image, unless you give it an ID, it will do it to every image. So all I did for image is just do the margin to the left. So let's say it's at 200 right now. So let's say I change it to 100. So if I do that, you can notice that it did very much go to the left a little more. Next, para 2, I just gave paragraph 2, which is this, and more people excited to who are also really powerful. I gave that the ID of para 2. And then here, I just gave it color, which is the customizable, like whatever color you want. So yeah, that's basically it for CSS. CSS is very simple. It's very fun as well because you get to change the colors, the font color, and the font size, the font family, and everything. I think it's really fun to give more life to your actual website that you made with HTML. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video and learned a thing or two. And look out for the next coding video. It's going to be a blast. Thanks, guys.